understand, the groundwater contributes to nearly 65% of the total irrigated area and nearly 85% of the rural drinking water supply. The limited groundwater resources in the country are under threat due to this increasing demands of growing population, urbanization, industrialization and others. And now here is how the implementation of this scheme will help in meeting water scarcity demands. Why is it important? Because this scheme will promote panchayat-led groundwater management. Let's move on, also talk about the other benefits. The primary focus on the demand-side management will also be met by the centrally aided scheme. It's also going to, moving on, will aid in micro-level irrigation, in crop diversification and also electricity feeder separation. We'll tell you what is that. Now, scheme will be implemented over a period of 5 years. We are looking at 5 years, and 8,350 villages have been identified so far. And the states we are talking about: Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, as well as Rajasthan, and also some parts of UP. Let's move on now and let's talk about how this scheme is going to boost the income of farmers. And the research paper says that it could double the farmers' income. And how is that going to take place? It's going to take place through strengthening of institutional arrangements for sustainable groundwater management. Remember, there are already some institutions in place in these states that have been identified. We're also looking at improving monitoring networks through this, capacity building, and also strengthening the already existing water user associations that are placed at micro and macro level. And most importantly, now this scheme is also looking at incentivizing the states for achievements. There will be incentives for those states who will show remarkable improvement in managing their groundwater resources and also promote efficient use of available groundwater resources. The scheme will also involve active participation of the communities in various activities at the micro level, such as formation of water user associations, monitoring at regular basis, groundwater data management. Water budgeting is something the Prime Minister also talked about, preparation and implementation of Gram Panchayat-wise water security plans, information, and so on. And before we discuss about all this, let's move on to the other part of the presentation today. There were important observations made on the current water crisis, especially the Ministry of Jal Shakti 2019. Now, what are these observations? 22% of the country's underground water resources have dried up, or perhaps they are in a critical state. Let's move on. Now, having said that, when we have already recognized the problem, the major source of groundwater recharge is the monsoon rainfall and non-monsoon also, which is about 58% of the total annual groundwater recharge. Well, these are the numbers that you see on your screens. Now, contribution of rainfall to annual groundwater recharge is meager 67%. And the other sources we are looking at is canal seepage, return flow from irrigation, recharge from various tanks, ponds, other reservoirs, water conservation structures, and all this only adds up to 33%, which is again a very minuscule percentage. Now, contribution in annual groundwater recharge from rainfall during monsoon season is more than 70%, but there are specific states in that case. And what are these states and union territories? We're looking at Assam, Goa, Gujarat, Jharkhand, as well as Madhya Pradesh, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Rajasthan, Sikkim. It also includes Andaman Nicobar, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu union territories, as well as Lakshadweep. And before we move on to the discussion, we will also in fact talk about the current status of the water extraction in these Bhujal states. Fact find. And to take this story forward, remember we told you we will be talking about the big focus of the Midday Prime today.